Hello, this is a short video about the individual project in the academic year 2014 and 15. My name is Stefan Blake and I'm the module coordinator of this module. The aims of this video are to explain what the IP briefly is, the individual project, to introduce the key contacts, to provide a rough overview of the timeline, to explain the roles of students and staff, and to give you specific deadlines for 2014 and 15. All information is on Blackboard, and I refer you for further information to the relevant folders there. Very briefly, what is the individual project? It is by far the most important and time-consuming part of your degree. It has a number of goals, and the most important ones are for you to define a question, to plan and execute an investigation, and to answer that question. Finally, to be able to present your work in a written form and a professional style, and to explain your work orally at a poster conference. Finally, the most important thing is for you to work independently, to develop initiative and manage your workload. Your key contacts are in your discipline, and these are in the acoustical engineering, acoustics and musics, Mariam Ganshi-Tehrani, in aeronautics and astronautics, Andrew Wheeler, in audiology, Gary Farrell, in civil engineering, Sonia Heaven, in environmental sciences, John Jones, in mechanical engineering, Edward Young, and in ship sciences, Philip Wilson. The timelines and milestones for the individual projects are as follows. The first phase is called planning the project and is roughly in the first 3 weeks of the first semester. The deliverable is a 5-minute oral presentation in a small group meeting with the supervisors and other students, and you will have to submit a very short, maximum 1,000 words report to Blackboard, and this contains a layman's summary of your project, a Gantt chart, a training needs analysis, and a recorded session of one of your meetings with your supervisor. The second phase is called preparing the project, and you will have to submit an interim report with roughly 2,500 words containing a literature review, a completed risk assessment and ethics, and a record of lab training. The third phase is doing the actual project and will be starting after you submitted the interim report, and the milestones here are the submission of a final written report which has around 10,000 words and presenting your poster at a student poster conference. More to this on the next slide. The final written report is the most important deliverable of the project and counts for 80% of your module mark. A typical report is around 50 to 60 pages in total, and there is a word limit of 10,000 words. The deadline is Friday the 1st of May 2015. The final 20% of this module mark comes from presenting your poster at the student poster presentation day, Friday the 5th of June 2015, and this will take place at the Boulderwood campus. Very briefly, what are your roles and responsibilities? Your main role is the management and execution of the project, and it is your responsibility. Specifically, you have to manage your workload, you have to meet all the milestones and agreed goals with your supervisor, and very importantly, you have to maintain regular contact with your supervisor, and I recommend to try to contact him regularly. Your supervisor's roles and responsibility is to be in contact with you, usually on a regular basis, unless otherwise agreed. He or she should suggest and then assist you to clarify the topic of your dissertation, advise you on appropriate sources of information, including data, sources, and specialized internal and external help. And your supervisor should discuss the progress of your report with you during the year, of course. Finally, your supervisor will mark your written report. How do you get feedback? There are many ways to get feedback during the report. The most important ones are the informal feedback that you get during ongoing supervisory meetings. There will be initial feedback on the project plan, there will be feedback on the interim report and on the draft report. The main rule here is the more you ask, the more feedback you will get. Here's a very brief overview of the skilled support packages in the first 3 weeks. There is a support lecture in week 1 about academic integrity, about library research. There is something about workshop and labs and risk assessment, about project management, specific language support and visual communication. There are a whole range of other support packages on Blackboard, and here's an overview of admin, academic integrity, library research, workshop and labs, risk assessment, ethics, project management, language support, visual communication, and then finally guidance on the milestone for the project plan, interim report, written project report and poster presentation. And there are also example project reports and posters from previous years. Please make use of these as much as you can. The main people to ask once you consulted Blackboard is your supervisor and then your discipline rep.